So welcome everyone to our first moon circle. Um, so this is the first of a series of six, and I'm really excited to have a beautiful group of 10 people who joined this time around. But the circle is going to be changing from one to the other because there are drop-ins that come in, and so every time we have a moon circle, we'll have some new people coming in. So that's really fun. Um, Thank you so much for taking the time to be here tonight with me. I'm very, I know I say that a lot, I'm excited, but it's true. I am excited to get this circle started. It's nothing I planned like long time ago. It's like downloads that I got just during the holidays where the moon became something really strong I was feeling. So I'm like, I think I want to try to honor the moon, the full moons, and the new moon as well. So tonight is the first new moon of January. And what you'll need, I don't know if you had time to see the email, but I did ask you to have a piece of paper or two because we're going to write words on there. You need a pencil or a pen. If you have your journal with you, maybe you'd want to journal after when we're done. Your crystals, if you have crystals, I have quite a few little rocks. You can have them with you. Water. I'm going to talk about making moon water later on. I've got flowers. Those are just because I like them, because they're beautiful. And I've got a candle. So you don't need any of that, but if you have them around you, it's just going to enhance the experience a little bit. So we will get started with, I'll tell you exactly like what we're going to go through. So first I've got a little presentation. So I'm going to share my screen, and I always like to introduce the theme a little bit. And then we'll be writing down our intentions. We'll do some breath work, and then we'll release. We'll move a little bit, we'll release, and we'll finish with the Antar Nad mantra with the beautiful mudra to the moon. Okay, so I'm hoping that I'm not going to go over. I planned this to be 60 minutes, but depending on how it goes, it might go just a little bit over. I'm trying to respect that that time frame that you have given me, and that I've planned to take. So I'm going to share my screen right now. Okay, so share. Okay, so can everyone see the screen? Just a little thumbs up if you do. Okay, perfect. Just gonna take this here. Okay, so our full moon chanting circle for January. So today is a wolf moon. So the wolf moon is traditionally January's full moon, and that name dates back to Native American and European folklore. It was believed that the wolves howled more during this time of year, which was associated with the midwinter season. Now, it's also full moon in Cancer. So astrologically, tonight is the full moon in Cancer. This full moon occurs when the sign of Cancer is a water sign, is associated with emotions, intuition, and home. The Cancer full moon encourages introspection and emotional clarity, making it an ideal time for self-reflection and nurturing personal relationship. So it's a well-known fact that the moon cycle has effect on nature. As humans, we also are affected by the ebbs and flows of the energy of the moon. As the moon waxes, so as it increases toward full light, our energy builds, and the momentum is great for working toward a goal or bringing the first phase of a project to fruition. Once the full moon arrives, the waning or decreasing moon phase begins and the light starts to fade. We can begin to release what's no longer working for us. It's a great time to reflect on what's not serving our own highest mission and let it go. So that's what we'll be doing tonight. Now, benefits of meditating on a full moon. So the full moon is a time of heightened energy, illumination, and release. So meditating on a full moon helps you let go of what no longer serves you. It helps to gain clarity and insight on your path. It helps harness the moon's powerful energy to amplify your intention. Now, I'm going to explain what the Antarnad mantra is, which is the mantra we'll be practicing tonight. So the benefits of chanting the Antarnad mantra. So it opens the heart center. It encourages compassion and unconditional love. It awakens intuition. It helps access higher wisdom and guidance. It aligns with creative energy, promotes prosperity, success, and flow in life. It clears blocks, removes mental and energetic obstacles, allowing one to connect with universal abundance. And it elevates consciousness, facilitates a deeper connection to one's spiritual path and higher self. So lots of beautiful benefits to chanting on a full moon. So this is the Antarnad mantra. So the words are sa, re, sa, and we repeat that 3 times. They're pretty easy to pronounce. There's just the R that might be a little bit tricky. So again, you want to try to not roll your tongue, but touch the tip of your tongue in the little divot that's about 1 inch away from your back teeth. So I will remind you of that later when we practice it. So we say sa, re, sa 3 times, and then it's sa, rang, har, re, har. So there's a lot of those R's. Har, re, har, re, har, rang. And the general meaning of this mantra is infinite totality is here, everywhere. Creativity of God is here, everywhere. So loose translation to English. Now, this is not Sanskrit, this is Gurmukhi. So Gurmukhi is a language that's derived from Sanskrit, but used a lot in Kundalini yoga. Individual word meaning now. So Sa means infinity or the cosmos or God. Re is the active energy or vibration within, or if within infinity. So when you say sa, re, sa together, it celebrates the infinite creative energy of the universe. And then sa, rang represents the vibratory flow of the cosmos in rhythm with life. And then har is creativity of the earth. So har, re, har grounds the creative energy into the physical realm. And then har, rang signifies the essence of the divine manifesting in life. Now, this is just for your information, but you really don't have to remember when you chant the mantra what each word means. The magic that happens when we chant mantras is that just by chanting it, it does manifest. So you don't need to really know exactly word for word what you're saying. Now with this mantra, we'll be using the Anjali Mudra. So I think most of you know this mudra. It's well known around the world. So Anjali Mudra, also known as the prayer pose or salutation seal, is a gesture of reverence, gratitude, and unity. Its benefits: it cultivates inner peace and balance. It opens the heart center. It enhances focus and concentration. It expresses gratitude and humility. It encourages unity and connection. And then there's the Padma Mudra. So the Padma Mudra is also known as the Lotus Mudra. It's a powerful hand gesture symbolizing purity, transformation, and spiritual awakening. It represents the blossoming of the lotus flower, which rises from muddy waters to bloom in pristine beauty, symbolizing the ability to transcend challenges and radiate inner light. So the benefits: opens the heart center, encourages emotional release and healing, promotes inner transformation, enhances creativity and inspiration, and cultivates a sense of purity and peace. So we're going to use those two mudras when we chant Sade Sasa, and we combine them together, and it becomes a Kabache meditation. So we're going to start in prayer pose at the navel point. We're bringing the palms up. We're opening in a lotus flower. And then we're going to turn around and touch the part of the fingers that are external, the external part of the fingers. And we turn down and point back, touching in reverse prayer pose. And then we start again. So I'll be explaining that too right before we practice it. Now I've added Om Mani Padme Hum in there because we'll be doing that release to Om Mani Padme Hum. So those of you who did this morning with me, we danced to it. Tonight we're not going to do the whole thing, but we're going to do about half of it, and we're going to be using Om Mani Padme Hum for release. Which means the jewel is in the lotus, and it's the mantra for love and compassion. So it's excellent for doing the kind of work that we need to do on the full moon. So that's it for the little presentation. Now we're gonna get started. So I'll stop my share. Okay, just open this. So feel free if you have a question and you want to unmute before we get started, or raise your hand or let me know. If I don't get a sign of you, I'm just going to go ahead with the rest of the meditation. Okay, so first thing that we're going to do, so you're going to take your piece of paper, and if you have two, you're just going to get two. I have one, so I'm just going to rip it in half. So we need two separate pieces. So I'm going to rip this in half. And on the first piece of paper, I want you to write, I just want to make sure I say the right words here. Write down an intention of how you would like to feel in 2025. So maybe you've already set an intention on the new year. I'm not talking about a specific goal. It can be a specific goal if you have one. It could be that. But it's really, an intention is just like an overall feeling. How would you like to feel in 2025? So examples would be, I'd like to feel more joyful. I'd like to feel calm, loved, happier. I'd like to feel abundant. I'd like to feel healthy. I'd like to feel safe. I'd like to feel good in my body, feel good in my mind. Try to avoid using negative feelings like, I want to be less worried, because if you say less worried, the word that we hear is worried. So you do not want to attract being worried. So a nice, beautiful, positive emotion that you would like to carry on through the year. Okay, so that's your first paper. I'm going to write mine as well.
Just one word, Suzanne?
Well, it could be more than one, but don't write like too many words that so that you want to focus on one thing. So it could be a phrase, it can be a sentence for sure, and you can have a few. but not a list of them. I guess that's where I'm getting at. So on the second piece of paper now, you're going to write an emotion that you are feeling that you think is getting in the way of that emotion. Okay, so for example, let's say you wrote, I want to feel calm and peaceful. Think about what's getting in the way of it. Well, I'm worried all the time, so I'm not peaceful because I worry. Or I'm angry, I feel angry, so I I'm not peaceful because I feel angry. I feel resentful, I'm anxious, I feel sad, I feel shameful, I feel guilty. So these negative emotions, I guess, are what we're going to want to release tonight. So just try to think about, and they can relate to one another. Um, but at the same time, if it's a different one, but you're feeling that right now, it doesn't have to do with your first word, it's okay too. So just write an emotion that you know that's with you a lot and that you kind of want to let go of right now. Just going to make sure that there's nobody trying to get in here. I'm thinking about someone else. Okay. Okay, so what I want you to do is just to leave these words in front of you so you can see them. Okay, so you've got your two words there. And we're going to do a little exercise. So we'll get into our breath work. So we'll do an exercise called the lion's breath. So the lion's breath is a breath. It's a breath that helps release, build up emotions and stagnant energy. So the way we're going to do it, so you can be sitting cross-legged or sitting straight on a chair if you want. You can also, if you can, if you're comfortable doing this, you can also be kneeling like this on your knees, if that's comfortable. Now your hands are just going to be on your lap, okay? And you can open your palms a little bit like these are, it's a lion's breath, right? So these are the paws of the lion. So you can kind of grab your knees with this, but always keeping your shoulders down, keeping your spine straight, okay? And so what we'll do is inhale deeply through our nose and we'll exhale strongly through our mouth, sticking out our tongue. So we'll look pretty silly. And it's so much fun that you guys keep your camera on, so I'm not the only one that's going to look silly. So what it looks like is that we inhale through the nose and exhale. And we make a sound, like a sound, okay? Now, you can also add that your eyes can be looking at your third eye. So that's kind of like an added, maybe we should just start by doing the ha, and then if you can think about it, you can have your eyes looking at your third eye. Okay, so we'll do that about 5 times. Okay, so if you're ready, so your hands are on your thighs. Okay, so we'll be breathing in through the belly and through the nose. Okay, and let your breath return to where it wants to go. So what it does is that it releases, in the exhale, you release those emotions when you do the okay, the emotions come out. Now, another way we're going to release And I'm talking about releasing that word that you've written here, okay? So release that negative energy. So we're going to stand up for this, and I'm going to put the music of Om Mani Padme Hum, and we're just going to shake. We're going to shake our body. So you're going to imagine that your body's like a tree in the fall, and you've got these leaves that are kind of dead and that need to fall off. And we're just going to release that. So I imagine like the leaves having that word written on them, and we're going to release that to the ground. Okay. So if you're ready, I'm just going to move things around a little bit so you can see me. And we'll be doing this for roughly 3 minutes, 3 to 4 minutes. We'll get about halfway through the mantra. So you can close your eyes if you want to get into it and you want to think about that emotion that gets in the way of your goals that you want to get rid of. And you're going to shake it off. So shake your arms, you're releasing that word, that emotion that's useless, absolutely useless to what you want to do. And you want to ground your feet on the floor, and you can kind of bounce around. We're doing this in a gentle way because we're doing this to a love and compassion mantra, right? So you want to forgive yourself for feeling that way. You just want to, it's human nature. I'm done with this. I'm getting rid of it. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Shake it, shake it, shake it. We're shaking and releasing. Keep shaking. We're releasing. Woo! Get it off you. You can brush it off if you want. We're going at it for another minute. few seconds. Okay, and stop. So you're going to stop, a complete stop, and you're going to feel that energy. Feel your heartbeat. Feel your breath. Feel that sense of, letting go. So we'll stay standing for another minute or so till our heartbeat winds down a little bit and our breath returns to whatever's normal or natural, I should say. And if you need to sigh, to take a couple of long breaths or short breaths or whatever your body needs right now, you do it. Now we'll add a last breathing exercise where you will inhale for 4 counts, thinking about the light of the moon and the energy of the moon filling your belly and filling your body. And then we'll suspend the breath for 4. And while we're suspending, you'll imagine that emotion dissolving completely with the energy of the moon. And then we'll release for 6. So I repeat, we breathe in for 4, imagining the moon's light shining on us. So breathing in. We're suspending for 4 counts, imagining that emotion that we just wrote on the paper dissolving with the energy of the moon, and then releasing till it's gone. We'll do a couple more. So breathing in for 4, inhaling the moon's energy. Suspending for 4, imagining that feeling dissolve with the power of the moon, and then releasing completely. Another breath in. We suspend and release. And one more. Breathe in the moon. Suspend and dissolve. And exhale. So we can keep doing it a few times if you want. Whatever feels good to you. If your eyes are closed, you can start opening them. And when you're done with your breathing and you're done dissolving and releasing that feeling, you can grab your piece of paper where you wrote that word and you're just going to rip it apart. So you're going to rip it in little pieces. We are done with this. This no longer exists in our body. We flushed it. And what you do with those little pieces of paper is up to you. You can throw it up in the air in the universe and give it to the moon. But no, you'll have to pick it up later. You can put it in the trash can, and some people burn it. So if you have a safe place to burn it, you can burn it. If you have a fireplace, you can do that. But you are done with this. And then you can take back your seat. And the hardest part is done. Just gonna make sure that you can see my hands. Okay. So I hope you're feeling better. The tearing up is, it represents breaking the hold of the emotion, and scattering it into the air symbolizes releasing it to the universe. So I thought it was pretty cool when I saw that that suggestion with the word. And I remember during the pandemic, I was teaching a bunch of teenagers, and when they'd get into class, I'd ask them to just rant on a piece of paper and write down everything that was bugging them. And then when they were done, that's what they did. They were ripping the papers. And I even had a shredder in my class, and some students would pass it through the shredder. And it was just so cool to see how after you've done something like this, it's like, now you're fresh and you're ready to go and to move on, right? So we'll get into the chanting now of our mantra. So now you have your intention, right? Oh, I like the little hearts. Lori's giving me hearts. That's cool. So you have your other word, right, that you wrote down. So you can have that in front of you. So this is how you want to feel in 2025 for the rest of the year or the month or moving forward. So with this word in front of us, that is going to be the focus on our meditation, Sare Sa Sa. So what it is that like the lotus flower is rooted in mud and muck, it emerges into a beautiful flower. It gets purified. So we're getting purified with the energy of the moon, and we're asking the moon, we're kind of offering this feeling that we want more of in our life to the moon. And then taking that wisdom of the moon and bringing it back into our body, our soul. Okay, so if you want to just try the mudra with me, so you start in Anjali Mudra, which is this prayer pose, but it starts at the navel, so it's a little bit lower than what prayer pose is usually. So we start at the navel, and we go up saying Sa, Re, Sa, 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 Re, Sa, Sa. And then when we get to our face, we open up in a beautiful lotus flower. So you keep your thumbs together and your pinkies together, and you go up and you move your palms right to your third eye. And then you turn around. Har, re, har, 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 re, har, 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 re, har, 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 rung. And then we start again. I'll just move this a little bit so that you can see my hands all the way up here. Okay. So the melody is going to go sa re sa 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 re sa 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 re sa 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 rang. Okay, so maybe we can just sing that together once. Sa re sa 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 re sa 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 re sa sa sarang. And actually after sarang you're up there, and then hara re hara 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 re hara har hara re hara 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 rang. And then we start again. So the second part, har re har har. So har re har 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 re har 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 re har har har. I lost the melody. Har rang to finish. So I did, I don't know if you guys had a chance to print it out, but I did send you this morning a write-up with the words. So if you want to take a minute to find that, if you printed it and have it in front of you, that's great. If not, you can even go find it on your phone or whatever. It was an email I sent this morning. But we'll be chanting that for 11 minutes. So that's a Kundalini practice. Kundalini has very strict instructions as to the numbers of minutes that you practice a certain kriya. So 11 minutes is recommended for this mantra. And I'll be using the tabla to chant so that we have support of music. And yeah, that'll be perfect timing. So everybody's still good? Awesome. Okay. So let me put oh, I turned the volume off. Okay, so let's rub our hands together, create a little bit of heat. And as we do that, let's take a big deep belly breath and release. Oh, I need to put my timer on, sorry. I'll put the timer so that we follow instructions. 11 minutes. Here we go. Sa re sa 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 re sa 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 re sa 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 ram. Hara re hara 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 re hara har hara re hara 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 ram. Sa re sa 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 re sa 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 re sa 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 ram. Hara re hara 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 re hara har hara re hara 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 ram. Sa re sa 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 re sa 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 re sa 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 ram. Hara sarang. Hare 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 ram. Sa re sa 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 re sa 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 re sa 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 ram. Hare 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 ram. Sa re sa 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 re sa 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 re sa 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 ram. Hare 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 ram. Sa re sa 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 re sa 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 re sa 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 ram. Hare 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 ram. Sa re sa 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 re sa 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 re sa 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 ram. Hare 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 ram. Sa re sa 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 re sa 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 re sa 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 ram. Hare 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 ram. Sa re sa 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 re sa 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 re sa 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 ram. Hare 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 ram. Sa re sa 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 re sa 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 re sa 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 ram. Hare 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 ram. Sa re sa 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 re sa 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 re sa 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 ram. Hare 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 ram. Sa re sa 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 re sa 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 re sa 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 ram. Hare 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 ram. Sa re sa 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 re sa 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 re sa 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 ram. Hare 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 ram. Sa re sa 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 re sa 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 re sa 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 ram. Hare 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 ram. Sa re sa 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 re sa 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 re sa 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 ram. Hare 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 ram. Sa re sa 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 re sa 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 re sa 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 ram. Hare 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 ram. Sa re sa 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 re sa 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 re sa 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 ram. Hare 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 ram. Sa re sa 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 re sa 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 re sa 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 ram. Hare sa re sa 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 ram. Hare re hare 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 re hare 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 re hare 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 ram. Sa re sa 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 re sa 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 re sa 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 ram. Hare re hare 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 re hare 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 re hare 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 ram. Sa re sa 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 re sa 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 re sa 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 ram. Hare re hare 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 re hare 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 re hare 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 ram. Sa re sa 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 re sa 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 re sa 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 ram. Hare re hare 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 re hare 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 re hare 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 ram. Sa re sa 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 re sa 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 re sa 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 ram. Hare re hare 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 re hare 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 re hare 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 ram. Sa re sa 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 re sa 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 re sa 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 ram. Hare re hare 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 re hare 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 re hare 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 ram. Sa re sa 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 re sa 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 re sa 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 ram. Hare re hare 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 re hare 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 re hare 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 ram. Sa re sa 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 re sa 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 re sa 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 ram. Hare re hare 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 re hare 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 re hare 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 ram. Sa re sa 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 re sa 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 re sa 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 ram. Hare re hare 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 re hare 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 re hare 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 ram. Sa re sa 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 re sa 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 re sa 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 ram. Hare re hare 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 re hare 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 re hare 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 ram. Sa re sa 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 re sa 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 re sa 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 ram. Hare re hare 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 re hare 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 re hare 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 ram. Sa re sa 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 re sa 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 re sa 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 ram. Hare re hare 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 re hare 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 re hare 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 ram. Sa re sa 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 re sa 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 re sa 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 ram. Hare re hare 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 re hare 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 re hare 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 ram. Hare re hare 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 re hare 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 re hare 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 ram. And breathe in. And suspend, like you want to hold on to that moon energy for as long as it feels comfortable. And then release. do it 2 more times. Breathe in. Suspend, absorbing the moon energy, thinking about your word and how you're going to feel for the rest of the year. And release. And one last time. And bringing your palms up to your third eye. Namaste. The light in me sees the light in you. So let's take a minute to sit in silence. And just absorb all of it. Taking your time to open your eyes when you're ready. And what I suggest you do after we're done is to get your jar of water if you have one. If you don't, you can just grab a glass of water, and you can set it outside or you can set it by a windowsill and let the moon's energy infuse your water during the night. And you can set your crystals also. You can bring them outside or set them around. I suggest that you take that word that you've written down and you put that underneath your jar of water. So I'll put that on my balcony right after. So I'll put this on the floor and I'll put my jar of water on top. And so what you get is water infused with the moon's energy. And they say it's best to go get it in the morning before sunrise. So just at this time of the year, it's pretty easy because the sun rises pretty late. So you try to get out there before the sun rises and you get your moon water. Now what you do with it, it's just a high frequency or high energetic water. You can drink it for sure. Some people keep it in the fridge and they have sips here and there. Some people drink it all that morning if it's a glass. You can water your plants. You can put it in a little bottle. It could be used as a mist for your body. So it's just very refreshing and healing. And then your crystals, the moon energy is just energizing the crystal. So it's kind of purifying it, and it's, what's the word I'm looking for? It kind of washes it. It's almost like washing it. So it's charging. Okay, so the moon energy, that's the word I was looking for. So you're charging your crystal with the moon energy. And then you just wear them if it's a pendant, or you can use them however you use your crystals. I also encourage you to journal if you want to journal after this. Maybe you had intuitions, maybe you had ideas. If there's something that came up for you after this meditation, it's always good to to write that down, so that, yeah, so that you can come back to it during the month and remember. Um, yeah, so I don't know if there's any questions. I'll leave the recording on for a minute. If there's any question that you think could benefit people listening. Yes, Lori, can you unmute yourself? Or I don't know if I can.
Yes, yeah, I can. Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Um, when we are coming down, are we still keeping our baby finger and thumb in contact?
Oh, that's a good question. Yeah, actually, I am keeping them in contact. Um, now, I'd have to see in the PowerPoint that I did, there was instructions there. It said to go inwards. It was like prayer pose inward, inverted. That's what he said,
Mm-hmm.
inverted prayer. So,
So, yeah, it's whether like your pinkies come back together because they don't because I did this too, right? So I just
yeah,
came down like that,
yeah.
or the pinkies and the thumb can
I
be in
have a
contact.
tendency to, when I turn, I leave them like they're connected, and I turn, and they kind of, yeah, they kind of touch. I'm not sure if it has to absolutely touch, but that's how I do it. Yeah.
On
So,
the way up, for sure, though,
yeah,
they stay together, and on the way
definitely.
down, yeah.
Yeah. Whatever feels comfortable. I'm not sure, but
Hmm.
I will look it up to see if there's something specific about when you're coming down. That's a good question. Thanks.
Cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you. That was great.
awesome. Glad you liked it. Any other questions before? Yes, Diane.
So you mentioned that you could do it again, let's say in a few days, or just once is fine.
Oh, if you want to do it again, like the full moon lasts like a few days before and a few days after, right? Like the energy of the full moon. Um, so this mantra doesn't have to be specifically for the full moon. You could do it pretty much anytime you want. It's just that that particular mantra is very energetically, let's say, transformative. And with the enhancement of the energy of the moon, it just gives it that much more power. But for sure, it's something that you can do at other times. You don't have to strictly do it on the full moon. It's
Okay.
just, I think that they kind of choose specific mantras that are good to be used for the full moon. Like one of the mantra that was actually mentioned was Om Mani Padme Hum.
Mhm.
So any of those key mantras that are like, um, I don't want to say more important, but there are some mantras that are just englobe everything. And the Sarisasa is a lot about all balancing all the chakras too, because you go through, and it's
Mhm.
heart opening too. So it's a lot about the heart and opening and releasing. So that's why it's kind of associated. But for sure, for people with the recording, if you can do it within 3 days, that's where the moon is at its highest, and then it starts waning, waning down. So yes, you can do it
Okay.
a few days before, a few days after, for sure. As many times as you like.
Thank you.
Doris,
Sorry,
can't hear you.
we. I was just thinking when you were mentioning that, Zen, that maybe when you feel that you're getting that same sense of the piece of paper that you ripped up, then you would redo it. So you'd get that energy back into you.
I like that. Yeah.
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 So that, yeah.
If you feel like you're not done with it, yeah.
Yeah, like, if you feel that it's coming back, like, so maybe 2, 3 days, or when you feel that angst or whatever it is that you're having, then I would definitely redo the whole thing again. Yeah,
Yeah.
with your crystals. I can't wait to go put them outside. My water's gonna
Yeah.
freeze. Doesn't matter. It'll be nice and cold tomorrow
It's
morning.
true though. Yeah, it's true. The water's going to freeze, eh? I haven't done it much in the winter actually. Now that you're mentioning that, I do it a lot in the spring and the summer. When I was in North Bay, I used to just go down the stairs and the moon was right there, and I knew that the light, the beams were right on there, so I would put them there. Yeah, so maybe yeah, freezing will happen, but I guess it shouldn't be a problem if the bottle's not closed and it's not like
No.
airtight. If you yeah, just leave it out.
Yeah.
You wait till it melts and then you can drink it
Yeah.
and get refreshed.
Yeah.
Nice ice cold water in the morning.
Yes, for sure.
And and to watch when it does melt too, because there's very cool research around ice crystals and mantra and loving kindness in terms of how the water forms. And that's what I'm curious about to see what
It's
happens.
true. I remember seeing a video a few years ago, and it was about that crystallizing the water that was infused with music, and then
Hmm.
they had mantra and they had different type of music, and the crystals were different.
Yeah, like beautiful lotuses and images compared to yeah, we should find that. We should
Yeah,
find that.
Yeah.
that was
We
It's
really
should
really
take
interesting.
yeah, we should take a picture. Take a
Yes.
picture of our water and see what it comes up with.
See
yeah,
what it comes up with. Yeah.
that's a great idea. I love it. Yeah, you can post that on the chanting circle group.
Okay.
That'd be fun.
Mhm.
Perfect.
Yeah. Thank you, Suzanne. This was absolutely enlightening, refreshing. I feel so honored and so grateful.
Mm.
Thank you so much.
Namaste.
I feel the same. Thank you so much. Thanks for being there and for participating. And it's I could feel everyone's energy, and it's so beautiful to see everyone do the move at the same time. It was just
Yeah.
very, very soothing.
Yeah.
I will
It's
stop the recording here before we all go, and then we can. So thank you so much for people who are joining us afterwards, and I will see you probably in a couple of weeks for the new moon. That'll be a different experience. So thank you so much for watching and being there.